Hey guys, Mike, your host of Craft Beer Storm. How are you doing today? It's Friday, and we have craft brew news today. The drama of the week, what's happening in the beer world. A lot of drama. But hey, first, have you gone on iTunes? Give us a rating, give us a review. Did you subscribe? Very easy. Get on there, hit subscribe. Click on those 5 stars, you'll be okay. That's the only way we get up in rankings and we get the word out to a lot more people. I know you enjoy this, and we want to get it out to more people and, spread the gospel of craft beer and educate them on what's happening in the brew world. So on Fridays, we do craft brew news, and here we go. We got a couple stories for you. First one is a tragic story of Molson Coors Milwaukee Brewery to reopen Monday. Nearly $1 million raised for shooting victims' families. Somebody went in and shot 5 people dead. It's horrible. Molson Coors Milwaukee Brewery will reopen Monday evening after closing for several days in the wake of a shooting that claimed the lives of 5 employees on February 26th. Molson Coors, the second largest beer producer in the U.S., will increase security measures with bag checks at all locations, as well as additional armed and unarmed security guards at the facility, according to the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. The brewery tours have been canceled through Saturday, March 7th. By the way, all these stories are brought to you by brewbound.com, courtesy of brewbound.com. About 1,000 people work at the Milwaukee campus, where there are more than 20 buildings, including brewing facilities, offices, and a visitor center. So it's a massive campus there. Meanwhile, GoFundMe fundraiser posted last Friday to support the families of victims has raised more than $820,000 on its way to its $1 million goal. That's amazing. Molson Coors organized the fund on behalf of the National Compassion Fund, the program of the National Center for Victims of Crime. The National Compassion Fund will distribute 100% of the money raised to the victims' families, and our condolences go out to the families. It's a horrible thing. Man, you don't know what's going to happen when, but they've increased security in the facility, and it's just very unfortunate. So our thoughts go out to the families and our prayers. Second story, Stone Brewing closes the Shanghai Taproom. What is it about? Coronavirus? But other things too. Stone Brewing has shuttered its taproom in Shanghai, China, citing pressures from tariffs and the coronavirus disease. Co-founder and executive chairman Greg Cook said in a statement, "We faced challenges over the past year with dramatically increased tariffs and now the coronavirus. So both factors had a significant impact on our ability to further invest in the market as planned." And the San Diego craft beer maker announced a temporary closure of the taproom last week due to concerns over coronavirus, according to Smart Shanghai, and a temporary closure turned permanent earlier this week. The Shanghai taproom's closure just comes under a year after the announcement of the sale of Stone's Berlin, Germany brewery to Scotland headquartered Brewdog. I didn't even know this. I didn't know they sell the Berlin brewery. They made such a big deal about it, opening it up, and now they sold it to Brewdog. But all this stuff, I guess they give it a shot. They go into these areas, China, Germany, and if it's not performing well, they got to pull the plug. It's a business. So that's unfortunate. Another story, Rogue shutters Washington Outpost. Rogue Ales and Spirits plans to close its nearly 2-decade-old brew pub in Issaquah, Washington. I hope I'm saying it right on Friday. I'm sorry, Issaquah people. I don't know. Issaquah. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm sorry. Rogue President Dharma Tam wrote on Facebook, "This is a very difficult decision, but unfortunately, rising costs have made it apparent that it's the best option to close the Issaquah brew house in order to better focus on our other public houses and production." So it's a business move. The Issaquah location Opened in 2001 and is about 310 miles northeast of Rogue's headquarters in Newport, Oregon. All Izaqua employees have been offered jobs at Rogue's 8 other retail locations, Tam wrote. So that's positive. I mean, they closed it. At least those people are not out of work. They can have work. They just need to go to another location. So it's just a business move. And another business went through some bad stuff in 2019. Uinta Brewing looks to bounce back in 2020. Uinta President Jeremy Raganese, it's really pronounced Raganese, but I'm going to say Raganese because it's probably the way he probably says it, believes the Salt City craft brewery has stabilized after a rough 2019. And the year started with a voluntary recall of 20,000 cases of its beer affected by yeast contamination. And that stuff can happen. It could destroy beer. And they had to recall 20,000 cases. Additionally, Raganese, then the CMO, was promoted to the president in March. And that same day began the process of retrenching the company's footprint, cutting back from 48 states to 28. Essentially using the Mississippi River as a dividing line with a few exceptions. So they really scale back in terms of their distribution. If that wasn't enough change for the year, the state of Utah lifted its restrictions on higher ABV beer sales in grocery and convenience stores, allowing sales of products with an ABV up to 5%. The unforeseen fallout of that move was that retailers stopped stocking shelves with new beer in early October, in anticipation of the changeover on November 1st. This translated to lost sales for the state's beer producers. So they're producing all this beer, and then the retailers just stop buying it. Man, 1-2 punch. All that added up to a slower year volume for Uinta. After peaking in 2017 at 93,338 barrels, the company's volume declined nearly 50% in 2019 to around 49,000 barrels. So that's like half. Man. Uinta's big bet for 2020 is Hazy Nosh IPA, a line extension of Hop Nosh flagship. At 5% ABV, Hazy Nosh will allow the company to take advantage of the full-strength beer sales change in Utah's grocery stores as well as most of its other markets. Second release in the series will be Free From Low-Cal Rosé Ale, which it will launch in June, according to Raganese. Rosé Ale has tested well at hard seltzer and light beer drinkers. Uinta also exploring opening up its playbook to beyond beer offerings, which could include the addition of hard seltzer and a non-alcoholic beer. The company is also looking to launch a barrel aging program, Raganese said, which a lot of these breweries are going into this hard seltzer because it's blowing up. I mean, Boston Beer Company, Sam Adams was the flagship, and they're called the Boston Beer Company, but they're making more non-beer products than they are beer products. Their truly hard seltzer is killing it and bringing up majority of the revenue for the company. So these are all company decisions, They open these locations and they don't perform well. They got to close them. They have tariffs going on, then they got a disease. And Greg's like, you know what? We're done. Thanks. The German brewery, I'm shocked that they closed it, but I guess it wasn't performing, well. Just because they're an American beer, I mean, people, I guess they didn't care. So it didn't work out. And then, breweries are turning to hard seltzer. So there you go. This business keeps changing, but you have to adapt, in order to survive. That's the whole thing. Canning, packaging, like stupid things like that. If you don't do it, you're screwed. But it's like any business, a lot of these larger businesses ignore social media, like JCPenney, Sears, right? They're out of business. Amazon's like controlling everything. Now Amazon has their own trucks. They don't even use UPS anymore. I see their own trucks. They're like unmarked, big white trucks. I see this guy with an Amazon coat on with a little smile in the back. I'm like, holy cow. Now they have their own fleet. So I guess they're taking over. But you can look at your phone and order whatever exactly you want, you know? Why do you need to go to a store and search for it? It comes to you. And that's the way we are. And that's the way the world is. So you got to look at that stuff and act on it. Okay. That's what I have for you today. Hey, on Mondays we do we do an interview. We do this 3 times a week. Our craft beer store Mondays we do movers and shakers, an episode. Great people in the industry, 360. I'm looking forward to the Craft Brewers Conference coming up in April. I'm psyched. Interview a whole bunch of people. I'm trying to line some specific interviews out there, and we'll just wander the floor and just interview everybody. All kinds of stuff, all kinds of beer. It's awesome stuff. And then Wednesdays, actually, we go down the Great American Beer Festival list, and we pick a different style every week. And we just expand on it. You know, what kind of hops are in it, grain, malty, hoppy, what is it, sour? Does the yeast play a big part? We've been doing a lot of Goza, like we did Goza. That was the last one we did. It's just the malt and the hops are just pretty much insignificant. It's just the yeast, Brettanomyces, and the bacteria that make the taste in that beer. Then you add fruit in, and there you go. There's a style. So there's a whole bunch of different styles, like over 100, and then there's subcategories too. So tune in on Wednesdays for that. And then Fridays we have our craft brew news. So every week it's just different drama. That's what I have for you today. Go out and see your local brewery this weekend. They work hard. They bust their butts. And we do this for them. I wish somebody would have done this for me. But we have local brewers on too. You know, if you know somebody we can interview, hey, Michael at craftbeerstorm.com. You know, you're a brewer or you're somebody in the industry, send me an email. People have been doing that, and I get them on, and they appreciate it. We promote their business, and we just expose them to people who don't know that they're there. That's the whole thing, right? Okay, guys, have a great weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday. Take care.